The first time Ethan saw her, she was laughing, not politely, but the kind of laugh that pulled heads across the cafe. Her name was Celeste, and from the moment she looked up and their eyes met, he knew he was ruined. They were impossible together, and yet inseparable. Ethan, with his restless ambition, always chasing the next city, the next project, the next dream. Celeste, grounded in her quiet world of painting, where hours melted into colors and silence. He called her his anchor, she called him her storm. Somehow they fit. But love, the deep kind, is never just romance. It's battles, it's fire. There were nights their arguments shook the walls. Ethan accused her of being afraid to dream big. She told him he was incapable of standing still long enough to let love breathe. He would slam the door, drive until dawn. She would lock herself in her studio and paint furious strokes until her hands cramped. And yet, by morning, he was back at her door. By morning, her hands were reaching for him again. Their friends didn't understand. "You're burning each other alive," one of them said. Celeste only smiled faintly. But what's love if it doesn't burn? Then came the letter. The offer Ethan had been waiting for his entire career. A chance to leave, to build something monumental in another country. He held the paper in his hands like it was both salvation and betrayal. He hadn't told Celeste yet. She hadn't told him about the appointment she kept hiding from him, the one where doctors spoke in soft voices about her trembling hands. That evening, they sat across from each other at the kitchen table, candlelight flickering between them. Neither spoke. He kept folding and unfolding the letter. She kept her hands hidden beneath the table, as though he wouldn't notice the way they shook. The silence grew heavier, like the air before a storm. Ethan finally looked up. His eyes were wet. "Celeste," he whispered, voice breaking. "If I leave, will you come with me?" She froze, her lips parting but no sound escaping. The truth she carried inside her pressed against her ribs, aching to be told. The candle flickered harder, as if it too waited for her answer. Celeste's breath caught in her throat. She could see the raw hope in Ethan's eyes, the man who never begged for anything. Begging her without words, he wanted her to say yes. He needed her to say yes. But her hands betrayed her. They trembled so hard, beneath the table, that she pressed them flat against her thighs, as if the weight of her own body could cage the truth inside her. She forced a smile, but it cracked at the edges. "Ethan, I..." Before she could finish, his phone buzzed sharply against the wood. He snatched it up, tension knotting his jaw. Another call from the firm. Another reminder of the future dangling just beyond their reach. He silenced it without answering. But the damage was done. The air between them had shifted. "You don't want this, do you?" he said suddenly, his voice low, almost accusing. Celeste's chest tightened. "Not like this. Not when you don't know the truth." "I want you," she whispered, her voice breaking. But Ethan shook his head, pushing back from the table.